Hey everyone, so I wanted to just celebrate 250 subscribers on YouTube. Uh, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be doing this more often, but I figured at the time of this video, why not do a collection reveal of sorts? And I've got a lot of guns. I've been collecting airsoft guns for roughly 4 years now. I think 3 actually, but I started humbly with AEGs, and I came from a real AR, like like shooting in my pastime with my dad at the range, and also shooting my uncle's Scar. And I I just love real firearms, but ammo is expensive, and so is trying to own a gun in California. So I figured I'd go with the tofu method because at least with this, I get to shoot people with it legally. Anyways, so to celebrate, I'm gonna show my entire collection. I'm gonna go from pistols all the way up to my rifles, and I'm gonna go from size just to kind of get a rough idea of how much crap I have in my collection. So let's go ahead and get started. So first on the list is my Tech Ct25. I've had this for a couple months now, and it's all right. It's a Tech, so it's not exactly the best thing in the world. I actually kept this in my med pouch on my JSDF loadout as my backup to my backup because I had no trust in my M17 for a little bit until now. And it was all right, although I put a little too many rounds in it and something broke inside of it. So it's up for maintenance once I rotate through all my guns, and I'll figure out what's wrong with it. But overall, I want to do a review on this. I just have to figure out what I'm gonna do for the skit. So next up is the is the G&G Piranha TR. Now this is something that I wanted basically because of Cyberpunk. I was gonna do a Cyberpunk slide bite to commemorate Cyberpunk 2077 coming out, but then I realized Cyberpunk was getting a lot of flack and I kind of flaked on that. So I ended up with this interesting pistol. They're interesting guns. A lot of issues with them. I want to do a review on this, but it's probably not going to be that comprehensive in terms of my slide bites. It's probably just going to be like a little minute short or something. Overall, looks cool. It looks nice in my collection. Next up is my VP9. I had just got this. This is the newest pistol in my collection. I actually fired my uncle's VP9. I loved it, and I want a real one eventually, as soon as I can get one, or as soon as I move out of state and I can afford to get one. And I figured I might as well get one for training, and you know what? I love it. I've always loved H&K stuff. If you guys haven't noticed in my collection, and you guys will notice, I love H&K. So yeah, this one's the newest one. I'm getting more mags for it. It's going to be replacing my M17 further up in the collection. Alright, so I'm going to be reviewing these Glocks together because they're Glocks, and once you've seen one, you've seen all. These are not actually mine. Well, they are, but they're technically from my parents, unironically. So my parents wanted handguns to train on, but didn't want a real one to waste ammo on. The real one is somewhere, I guess, with hollow points in it. So they wanted something to train with, at least ergonomically wise, so I bought these from Airsoft Extreme. This one is for my stepdad, and this one is for my mom. And funny enough, these are color-coded with my dogs, this one being Cooper and this one being Coco, respectively. Overall, they mostly sit in my rack, just collecting dust, but they look nice. At least this one does. Now, this one is a bit of a unicorn. Now, you can see it's a Glock 21. What is so special about it? Well, if I do this, whoop. If I do this, that is why I got it. That is a shell ejecting Glock. It's a rare unicorn. I got this for like $100 during a trade, so I think it's cool. It's very impractical, but it occupies a special place in my heart as one of those weird rare guns that gas blowbacks can basically dab on when it comes to AEGs. Next one has been my workhorse for a couple months now, and it's actually been halfway around the world with me. This is my M17. Now I know people have issues with this. I did a slide bite on this, so it's a good pistol. I love it. I love the way it handles, and I think they made a V2, so a lot of the issues that were wrong with it are fixed. This one is a Gen 1. I've basically run this one into the ground. It is refusing to cycle properly right now, so it's due for maintenance alongside my Ct25. Good pistol overall. It's right now in its very vanilla state, and I just enjoy it as it is. Next one, AAP001. I got this actually on day one when it was released on accident. I just saw this and thought, huh, Space Luger. And neurons activated in my head, and I ended up getting this mainly because it looked cool and because it was exceptionally cheap, and I am doing a review on this, so stay tuned for that. All right, and this is the oldest pistol in my collection, a FNX 45 by VFC Cybergun. This thing is ancient for me, and you know what? I don't care. I love 45 guns, and I think they're great. This gun has stuck with me for a while. You can see it's missing its cover plate there. I drove it a little too hard, and it's currently mad at me. So yeah, it's also in the maintenance cycle, but it's just taking a while. All right, now we're stepping up from pistols and we're going to submachine guns. This is my KWA 1911. I had originally wanted to get this for a gangster skit. I was impressed by the fire rate. This thing is exceptionally fast. However, I was smooth brain and loaded this on its close bolt, and as such I broke the loading nozzle. So right now it just kind of sits as a desk queen for now. Am I going to do a review on this? I don't know. I don't respect KWA that much, and the fact that it broke on me on closed bolt, partially for my blame, but I'm just gonna blame it all on KWA for now. Right. Ooh. Right, next up I have the Modify PP2K. This I actually got before Evite got it. I've had this since its day one release. I was looking forward to this. I'm not going to do a quick review. I got this because I thought it was cool. I thought it looked like a really, really tiny version of an MP7, and I am sort of right. There's some issues with it, but overall, solid gun. I would definitely skirmish this. Right, next up, I got a WeTech P90. P90s are kind of neat. They kind of inhabit the science fiction realm, especially Stargate, SCP, and a couple other ones, I believe. I think Fringe also has a couple. But anyways, I wanted to get one of these because I realized there was one in gas blowback, found one on Hop Up, and bought it because it was really dirt cheap. And so far, so good. Apparently the guy said it was brand new, and I believe him. Field stripped it, looks good. And I can't wait to do a review on this. I'm looking forward to actually putting this thing through its paces. All right. Wait, which one's bigger? Next up, MP5. This is this is my very first submachine gun, and you know, it was a pretty good entrance to it. It's heavy, but I didn't care at the time, and I love it. Pretty solid gun. Did a glowing review on it, and I'm still glad that I have it. I wish I got more mags for it, but right now it just sits as a wall queen. Still works perfectly, still functions just fine. And yeah, so far, love it. And it sits proudly on my wall. Alright, KWA Vector. Now this one has some story behind it. So in the beginning, when I was starting to do slide bite with a friend of mine, my my cameraman, at the time of that video, this was actually his, and well, he's starting to get into some other hobbies, and he was trying to get some money, so he sold this to me, and you know what? I'm happy that I got it. It's a lovely gun. And I'm never going to sell this because that was one of the stipulations of buying this thing, is that it stays in my ownership. And we're good friends, and essentially my collection is his and his collection is mine. We both collect a lot of guns, so essentially this is under co-op ownership for now. Overall, I'm glad that I got it. This is also a unicorn and one of KWA's nicer guns. And if you were to look for one of these on Hop Up or anywhere else, these are these are exceptionally rare. I managed to get this one at half the gray market value, so it's pretty nice. And all right, and here comes my Airsoft workhorse right now. So before we get to rifles, this submachine gun was basically acting as my replacement for the 416, and I'm glad that I did, because this gun is exceptionally durable, mainly because of the polymer. And I got this at I got this at Airsoft Extreme when they first restocked it. I walked into the store, saw this hanging out in their gas blowback section, made some inaudible hissing or screeching, and threw my credit card at them, and I got this as a result. Great gun. I will be posting links to all my reviews of the respective guns, so you guys can take a look at them. I love this one. I love this one particularly. It's a great submachine gun. All right, so we're moving on to rifles now. This is my Scar H, and she is the newest kid on the block, like a couple days ago new. Evike had these in stock, and I decided I wanted one because I wasn't really fast enough on the first time. These guns are exceptionally cheap for what they're really asking. Sorry. These guns are exceptionally cheap, especially for the asking price, or especially for the quality. The build quality on this is great, and I can't wait to do a review on this. And yeah, love her. I'm getting more mags, and this is going to eventually replace my 416. Yeah, all right, so this is, for those who have seen my 100 subscriber special, this is my Howa Type 89. There's not much to really say, except that it is my weeaboo gun. You can tell because I put a stocking or garter on the buttstock because I thought it was funny. And so far so good. She doesn't really go out that much. She does look nice. I may have been a little too harsh on my review when it came to this gun. Most of the issues that I had were actually with the mags. If the mags didn't have that issue, I'm pretty sure this is a excellent gun to skirmish. Okay. So this is my oldest gas blowback in my collection, and looking at her, she just brings back a lot of memories. She was the gateway into gas blowbacks for me. When I got into airsoft, when I first got my first AEGs, I got it because I was an edgy teenager at the time, and I figured I don't want an AR. And then I realized, okay, maybe I want an AR, but I don't want an AEG. I heard of these weird gas blowback rifles, and I did some preliminary research and bought this because I heard of 416s. I heard they killed Osama bin Laden, and I wanted one as a result. And as a result, I got a Gen 2 VFC 416, and I fell in love with it. This is the gun that basically cemented in my mind that VFC is probably one of the best gas blowback manufacturers on the platform, like in the market. And as you can see, because she's the oldest, she has the most gear on her. She's starting to get some webs on her. So I'm gonna have to take her out and yeah, run her around with her. And you know what? I'm glad that I still held on to her. Most people would get rid of their first guns, and I'm a sentimental bastard, so I'm never giving this one up. I would rather scrap her than give her up to anyone. Oh, God, that is heavy. Alright, this one doesn't really need any introductions. This is my 417. Now, I wanted a... Now, the background for this thing is I wanted a sniper rifle, but I didn't want the bolt action sniper rifles because I thought that was stupid. I wanted something that I can just pull the trigger every single time and it's going to be just as accurate, if not even better, because I don't have to take my hand off and rack a bolt. And as an end result, I got this. And to tell you the truth, I'm actually glad that I did, because this actually exceeded my expectations when it came to going up against spring snipers. The issue with spring snipers is, like I said, they have to pull the trigger, cycle a bolt, and then re-aim. Whereas this thing, I can essentially stay scoped in and fire 20 rounds consecutively and keep your head down, or if you stick your head out at the wrong time, get ya. So the overall power parity between this and a bolt action sniper is pretty obvious. This is the first gun I actually did some actual dedicated teching. I have a actual full length barrel in here. I just changed the bucking to a maple leaf, and I'm about to look for a end pass system for this so I can bump the FPS so I can zero this out to like 400 feet. So, boy, God, she is also the heaviest gun in my collection. Okay. So next up, finally, we have this thing. This is the Golden Eagle M4, and I love this thing mainly for its meme value. For people who've watched my review, you obviously know what I'm talking about. This thing is the best intro gas blowback, and I got this initially to meme on it, to basically toss it under a car or something like that. But it's honestly earned my respect in that it's cheap, and it's basically marketing toward newcomers and essentially paving the way for essentially foundlings, because getting people into the sport, you want to make something cheap and you want to make something that works, and Golden Eagle did both. So happy that I have this one as well. couple of oddities, This one is, this one was actually given to me. This is a this is a KJ Works M700, and even in bolt actions, I am a spiteful gas blowback guy. So this is a gas. It's a gas bolt action. So if you listen to it, it's actually shooting a little bit of gas and a BB out the other end. Well, there's no gas or there's no BBs in it right now, so. But this one, I'm figuring out what am I going to do with this. It's a project gun in the most literal sense for me. Once I finally clear some space, I just don't know what to do with it right now. Because like I said, it was just given to me to add to my collection. Looks nice, it's streamlined, but I have the 417, which basically made this obsolete, so oh well. One thing I actually did leave out in my SMG section is this thing. This is a Weld Mp5k. I got this as a deal with the Maruzen G21, and I just don't know what to do with it. I'm probably going to sell it soon, so look out for that. Finally, let's go ahead and talk about the grenade launchers. This is a GL06. I originally kept this on a sling when I ran around with my 416, and it was basically just a glorified shotgun. I literally rounded a corner and just pulled the trigger, and out came like 100 BBs, spraying some poor kid in the face. So, funny memories with this thing. I have run a tag-in through this. It scared the life out of me. But overall, it's all right in terms of grenade launchers. Dirt cheap. Most of these grenade launchers are. So, you know what? I can't complain. It's a great like less than lethal thing. Finally, I have my MGL. So right now this MGL is empty. I have plans for it to run nothing but tag-ins, but tag-ins are expensive, and I am looking for a wholesaler that I can probably buy a whole bunch of those tag-ins off of. I have a couple of the shells. I need the rounds, but overall, if I can get this to run nothing but tag-ins, I think I might get kicked off a couple fields, just because of how devastating that could possibly be, not only to the players but to the lighting and the environment. But overall, I think the concept of using a tag-in with this could have some merit to it, especially for Milson. All right, so that is the entire gas blowback collection as of May 2021. It's a extensive collection. I haven't gotten all of this overnight. A lot of this was built over time, just basically biding my time, saving up money, and putting it into a hobby that I thoroughly enjoy. And I use every single one of my guns that you see here. At least I try to. If I like the way they perform, then I run them more often than others. And I always have them on rotation. So while I am a collector, I like to run my collection to make sure that they're all running in working order or something along those lines. Just because I like it like that, so. But yeah, if you like what you saw, I'm glad that you just leave a comment. Honestly, I like talking with you guys, and enjoy talking to a camera, and barely making eye contact and that sort of stuff. But with that out of the way, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.